She won the tournament, but she has improved such a lot of confidence, and I think that tournament gave her a lot of confidence as well. En route to this tournament, we've got some stats up there. I think, Don, you've already said she's 23 years of age, but en route to this tournament she beat LIEBHERR of Sweden 4-0.
There we have confirmation of Mittelham's bio, 21 years of age, 54 in the world, and as we said earlier, seeded 16. So certainly Szocs has impressed you, Jill, but I guess this youngster, Nina Mittelham, likewise we've seen a little bit of her
before, and it's 8-1 to Szocs. So they played each other from 2011 to 2017, but Mittelham, she beat her in the European Youth in 2013, but I think Szocs has been successful since then.
So 5 years without a win against Bernadette Szocs, the young lady on the screen there. She'll be looking to put amends to that situation here. You were talking about Szocs gaining confidence. Of course, she won the European top 16 earlier this year. Best 16 players in Europe gather and play initially in groups and then a knockout, and this young lady on the screen there was the winner. That would be a real confidence boost. Used to be the European top 12 players in Europe get together, and it was a round robin. That was a tough tournament. Best of 5 when we won that tournament 3 times, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah, I would say that was one of the hardest tournaments to play, playing 11 games.
And so a good start by Szocs. She takes the first 2 points. And I think on the head-to-heads in favour of Szocs, that must be on Mittelham's mind, the fact that she's only ever beaten her once throughout their careers. She needs to break that run of defeats. And what better time to break that run than here at the European Championships. But that's a good topspin by Szocs.
You'll see as she plays, when she wins a point, you know, that fist pumping, little screech and a cry as well. A very popular player with the table tennis fans and around the world. And there you hear that little screech.
It's been fascinating to watch the top players here, expression on their face. You wouldn't know whether they'd won the last point or lost the last point. And then you have players who are very expressive, and certainly Szocs would fall into that bracket. A screech of delight after she wins every point. I think the important thing on that is that you've got to do what feels natural to you. If you try to suppress your natural feelings, then that can have an impact on your performance.
Yeah, exactly. With Bernadette Szocs, you can tell how she's feeling, if she's frustrated, if she's happy.
Oh, that was an interesting forehand chop block, really, from Szocs. An improvised shot.
The side's been on there as well.
6 points to 3. And Mittelham now with her second serve in this sequence.
Oh, that's a good serve. Follow up. Opened up well into the middle. Always a difficult to position it. You've either got to play a backhand or a forehand.
It's fascinating to watch the players as they come through. Mittelham, that's the under 14, 15 age group, then very successful. And now she just needs to break through into the senior ranks. She's already 54 in the world. But I certainly think, Jill, she's got the ability and appears to have the right attitude to break into the top 25 in the world.
Yeah, one step up. But she's still only a young player, still got plenty of time.
And she's clawing her way back into this first game. 1 point adrift now. Second serve coming up. Szocs there trying to vary the return of serve with a bit of side spin on that push. Mittelham was equal to it, wins the point. 7 points each.
Looks like a short tomahawk. Saw what spin that was all, made the error. Good play there by Mittelham. Good counter tops. You see here she's away from the table. Quite happy to spin the ball.
And that was an error from Szocs there. She managed to force Mittelham away from the table. There. It's now a 1 point lead for Mittelham at the business end of the first game. 9-8. Second serve coming up for the German player. The long push, a fraction too long. But clever variation from Mittelham. Good to see. She's looking to vary what she's doing, always trying to play positive, to put her opponent under pressure, to keep her opponent thinking. It's Szocs with the serve at 9-all. It's the one that's caused problems.
Yeah, Szocs playing it round the table. Some down the line, some on the diagonal. Good variation, good placement.
Game point, Szocs. What a great rally. Mittelham there taking Szocs on backhand to backhand. I don't necessarily think that's a great tactic. Mittelham. She's very dangerous, but it's now alternate serving. First player to win 2 clear points. Mittelham, game point.
And she did that serve again, that tomahawk serve, followed up, popped up again, side spin on the ball. Mittelham, when Szocs does that service.
That was a great return of service there. The flick deep into the backhand of Mittelham. She came in with an open racket then. It looked as though she was going to push the returner, so then she suddenly closed the angle and went for the flick. And there we go. Bernadette Szocs takes the first game, 13 points to 11. And she leads by 1-0. They've got 1 minute. There we see Szocs. Excellent first game. Both players played well, but it was Szocs, the number 4 seed, who just came out on top against the number 16 seed. And just look at this. Mittelham played very well there, had a game point.
Looks very composed. Doesn't really show a lot of emotion.
Szocs did well there, got him with that forehand topspin deep to the backhand. I always find it interesting, this psychological side of the game, the personality and how best to react when you're on the table. And I think my answer to it is you've got to be yourself. Slight little niggle with the knee there, the bandage on just to give it that little bit of extra support. Doesn't appear to be having any problems, but again, like most countries here, they'll be supported, the Romanian team, by excellent physiotherapy support, and that probably receives attention after every game. Saw a couple of players yesterday, even in between games, having ice put onto the shoulder just to soothe the pain a little bit.
I think the last time I saw Bernadette Szocs play, she had bandaged on her arm as well, so I think she does have these niggles. Plays an awful lot of table tennis. Sometimes you need that time to recover.
Punches the air with delight, followed by a streak of delight. Let's have a look at that again. It's a good forehand topspin and a second topspin to win the point.
And the Hawk serve, that set it all up again.
And we're going to see it again. It used to be very popular, this serve, going back a long time, and then it disappeared really. And then all of a sudden, Ding Ning, the Chinese player, world champion, Olympic champion, brought players, nicknamed the Tomahawk. Occasionally uses the backhand side of the racket. So 3 points apiece in this second game, and it's Mittelham with her 2 serves.
Oh, good short touch play there by Szocs. She's varying that receive of serve, keeping Mittelham guessing, not letting her get into a rhythm. Oh, good angle there. Counter to see here. See how cute that angle is on that forehand. Mittelham not.
2 points a dot. She now has her 2 serves to come. I think Mittelham has to hunt that forehand a little bit more. Just try and get in with her forehand topspin. She's very powerful with the forehand. Szocs tactic get in with that topspin yet, and that's all down to excellent tactics from Bernadette.
Yeah, I think with Szocs varying the spin on the service, she's not quite sure, and therefore a little hesitant. But she tried to go for a forehand side of the table, as we see.
And just look at a good return there from Szocs. The long push, just putting Mittelham under that little bit more pressure. 8-3 for Szocs, 5 consecutive points. And that's an error. She looks at her batting disc now. It's still not over. You can still come back from 9-3, but it's tough that she's refocused, because she's certainly got the ability to win games. Can she win 4 games to progress to the quarter-final? That's another question. Seven game points. Let service. 10-3.
And another.
That was a pretty blatant let service. Just crept over the net. Almost a fault serve.
It was a bit of a desperate shot there by Szocs. I think caught out of position. And you can see she's got a smile on her face there, thinking that wasn't. I think that means focus.
And focus she did. She takes the second game 11-4. And Bernadette Szocs now leads by 2-0. And Mr. Philemon there in the corner will be very pleased with that performance. G-Shop, on the other hand, a little bit of work to do there, the German coach. It was very interesting there. Szocs, I thought, kept Mittelham quiet with the forehand, and then Mittelham had a chance with a few forehands. She made errors. They're drilling 2 forehands on the diagonal, a fist in the air, the shriek of delight. Look at her. A lot of emotion, great to watch. And that's why she's so popular with the crowds. And you know a little bit off the table, Jill, and you say she's great company.
Yeah, no, she's good fun. Speaks very good. Yeah, and the father's a musician, so a talented family, both sporting and for music. He plays in a band.
And so the players now back at the table. It is the third game. Mittelham really does need to try and get off to a good start. Forget that second game. And my recommendation will be to look to get in with that forehand topspin. We don't want the backhand to backhand rallies, and that's what she did first point. G-Shop could very well have told her the same thing. The German coach, you've got to get in with that forehand. With the number 16 seed, just finding it pretty tough against the number 4 seed at the moment. That's the sort of point we want. G-Shop, herself a fine player, a diffused backspin, very entertaining to watch. She was certainly good enough to be European champion, but never actually won the European title.
Very consistent defender. Just to come in and attack with a forehand. And we see it many a time in this match, be a push, and then she turns her wrist at the last minute. It's been very effective here for Szocs.
Indeed, the master of that shot on the male side, he's an Olympic champion, comes in, his racket's open, you think he's going to push, you react accordingly as a player, and all of a sudden, last second, just before contact, the wrist changes and it's a flick and it's coming like a rocket at your body. And Mittelham just hasn't been able to settle down in long. 5-1 down. And you sense that Szocs isn't going to let her the ropes if she can help it. She's keeping the pressure on.
Good, playing good positive table tennis here, Szocs. But in her last 32, she played Gasnier of France, and that was a great match, wasn't it? 4-3.
Gasnier played really well there. Once you're at 3-all, a good start in the 7th game, and it's anybody's then. But it was Szocs who made the good start in the 7th game. The French player went out, but a great performance. This time Szocs at the moment playing really well. But I have to say, so far Mittelham, apart from in that first game, game 2 and the first 9-10 points of game 3 we've seen so far in this tournament.
It's a good counter. Topspin rally there with Mittelham. I feel that's what she needs to try and do, try and get in a little bit more, but Szocs is playing very cleverly. But Mittelham's got to try and get Szocs away from the table.
She's done that 2 or 3 times, just mistimed that forehand topspin. It looks a terrible flies miles off the end of the table, but she's only fractionally mistimed the stroke. It's just hit the top edge instead of the surface of the racket.
Oh, it's a good shot there down the line with that backhand. Just changed Couplet. You can see it here. And that was a great angle.
You could see there on the forehand in from the backhand side. But of course the ball went out wide to a forehand.
A good change of pace there. She punched too hard with the backhand and just spun in. You can just see there. Just touch. That's great touch play there. Mittelham has hit the ball so hard.
It's almost a chop block. Can't describe it as a forehand defensive shot, a chop, but it's very effective and very difficult to play. Szocs leads 9-5.
Mittelham stepped in well there for that flick. She must be thinking 2-0 down, 9-6. I've got to try and do something.
4 game points for Bernadette Szocs in a lead. One game point saved by Mittelham. 3 more remain. And that's the tactics. In with that forehand topspin. Mittelham's better playing forehand to forehand on that diagonal, but a lot of the game has been on the backhand to backhand diagonal. Mittelham arguably needs to get down the line as soon as... Szocs now with her 2 serves. And she takes it. A topspin exchange. And Szocs now leads by 3 games to 0. It's a mountain to climb now for Nina Mittelham, the 21-year-old from Germany. And there we have confirmation on the screen of the story so far. 0 up. There's that shot you were talking about, Jill, sort of a chop block coming down on it. And a header there from Mittelham. 90% record, 9-1, but she can still come back, the 21-year-old. Szocs is only 23, a couple of years destined for greater things. How great remains to be seen. Went for the fast serve down the line. It hit the edge of the table on Szocs' side of the table, flew up into the air.
Well, good open up there by Szocs, and a good placement there into the body. Positions, always a difficult place for your opponent. Got to decide whether to play that backhand or that forehand.
That's where Mittelham's most effective, when she's getting... I suspect G-Shot would have said to her, make sure you enjoy yourself, but be positive, go for your shots, don't get too disappointed with yourself and let it affect your play. Relax and get in with that forehand topspin. Hunt the forehand.
Well, she's got nothing to lose now. She's 3-0 down, so Mittelham's got to go for those big shots.
Statistic, Szocs 1 game away from a play. The dynamic Bernadette Szocs. Interesting there, Mittelham just slowed it down on the backhand to backhand, just spun. Good tactic, well worth trying. A wry smile on the face of Szocs.
Stepped in well there, Mittelham. Get in with those strong forehand top spins. And we see that tomahawk serve again by Szocs. And Mittelham having problems with the forehand, so she then moved around and played her backhand from the forehand side, but just missed the side of the table. Clever play there by Szocs. Good serve. Slow third ball. And the 5th ball she played a bit harder. Good variation.
A little bit fortunate there, Bernadette Szocs. Now leads by 6 points to 5, and we've had a timeout called by Germany. G-Shot. Oh, that's a great angle from Szocs. She did well there. She read the direction. She anticipated the ball down the line well. An educated reaction, an educated topspin out wide to the right-handed Mittelham. We've had a lot of left-handers in this tournament. Good spinning from Szocs. On the deck, Bernadette Szocs, but quickly back on her feet. (8-6). 3 points away from a place in the quarter. Romania, very successful 12 months ago in Luxembourg in the European Team Championships. Beat Germany in the final to win the gold medal. Szocs was part of that team. And of course here the Romanian ladies will be looking for that women's singles title if they possibly can. And Bernadette Szocs would seem their best hope at this point in time. 3-0 up, 8-7.
And that's a loud screech there, which is Happy Bunny there winning that point.
It was a loud screech, considering it was just a short push to the forehand. Well played Mittelham there, contained well, didn't panic, just kept returning the ball, putting a little bit of speed and spin on the ball herself. Not just blocking, just putting Szocs under a little bit of pressure. Big point coming up. I think Mittelham needs to win this one. And she has. So it's now the business end of this fourth game.
Oh. She's doing a rumgay.
I'm sure it was Mr. Rumgay, our Scottish international player, great player, one of our co-commentators. And it's been christened, that action, as the Rumgay.
Pick that serve up well, Szocs. Slow, spinny one. Now Mittelham has her service. 9-10 down.
Match point. Oh! The streak of the tournament. She's delighted, but she deserves to shriek after that. She's won, but what a great point to win the fourth game. 11 points to 9. Bernadette Szocs, very popular with the crowd. Smile on her face, and why not? The first game and the fourth game were the tough ones. She was down game point in the first. Could have been a different story if Nina Mittelham had won that first game, won that 1 point to give her the first game. But it's all ifs and buts. But there we have the winner, and she's delighted. 4-0. And she's now through to the quarter-final. She's seeded number 4. She's seeded to make the semi-final, but this women's singles title is completely open. Any one of 12, 15 players could take the title, and the young lady on screen there is certainly one of them. Jill, Bernadette Szocs, we're just going to see some highlights now of her while we watch the highlights. Do you see her as a potential winner?
I think there's lots of I can't say who's going to actually win, because there's a whole group of players, both men and women, who could win the championships. But there we see that famous fist pumping.
She'd certainly win the gold medal for shrieking, would Bernadette Szocs, and punching the air with the fist.
Definitely.
Gold medalist in that department. And I think for entertainment value as well, great to watch. The crowd love watching her. Just look at that.
And she always wears table tennis bat earrings. It looks as though she's added an extra one to it this time. She tells me she always wears them, so whether they're, you know, a lucky mascot for her.
I guess the question is, will those earrings become golden earrings? We'll find out over the next couple of days. So there she is. She is the winner of the last 16. She's in the quarter-final, and there you can see the delight.